Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be cooking up a beat from scratch and show you how to make a dark trap beat for somebody like EST or Nardo Wick. Like I said, I made this beat from scratch, so as usual I'm going to go through and break down everything I did, show my process from everything from the melody to the drums. Hopefully you guys can learn something or take something away, get inspired in some way. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and let's get right into it. So as you can see, I have the final sample pulled up here. We're sitting at 148 BPM, and the final sample is in E minor. At the end, I pitch it down 5 semitones. So if we end up in E minor, that means everything I'm going to be showing you is in A minor. So when I break down the melody, it's going to be in A minor. I render it out, bring it back in, and pitch it down 5 semitones to E minor, and then I build the beat around that. So yeah, I'm going to just go ahead and play the sample by itself so you can hear how it sounds, and then I'm going to go through, show how I made that, and then show how I added the drums around that. Yeah, as you can hear, a lot of energy, very dark. You could definitely hear somebody like EST or Nardo Wick on this. But yeah, as usual, I have it broken down into different sections, as you can see right here with the layout. But yeah, let's get right into it. Alright, so first I'm going to break down the melody, and for this melody I pretty much use all one-shots for everything except I think the bell. So yeah, the first thing that I did is I picked this one shot right here. It's this key, and then I laid down this really simple, really repetitive pattern. And like I said in a lot of my other previous videos, if you're going for the dark vibe and you're trying to make a dark sample or a dark beat, being really simple and really repetitive, I feel like it's key. So as you can see here, I just have this simple chord right here. Like I said, we're in A minor, so I have the root note at A, and then I have a note at B, and then E, just a really simple chord right here. And then I have just 2 notes in between this E and the C. As you can see, I kind of messed with the velocities, and then I just took another E note up here and then pitched it down 2 octaves, so I have these deep like notes right here to add kind of a, just makes it sound a lot darker. As you can see, I literally just copy pasted the same exact chord over and over and over and over. So I'm gonna go ahead and just play how that sounds. So like I said, really simple, really repetitive. So for the effects, I added some Echo Boy with this analog preset right here. And then I added Sketch Cassette 2 to add some wow and flutter, and then I turned this compression on, some Valhalla Uber mod for some reverb, and then an EQ to take out a lot of the low end. And then for the second part right here, all I did is I took that same pattern and I just raised it up an octave. So I have this one right here. And then for the second part, it goes up. Okay, the second sound that I picked for this sample was this pad one shot right here. But to me, it just sounded really unique. So what I did is I just copied the same exact chord progression from the piano that I just showed. All I did is I removed the bass note down here. So I just copied this part and I brought it over to the sound, copied it. And then for the second part here, I raised it up an octave. I'll go ahead and play how that sounds just by itself. To me, I think that sounds pretty unique, and it sounded good layered with the piano. And even though it's the same exact pattern, it just sounds a lot different because of the sound itself. For the effects, I added Sketch Cassette 2 for some wow and flutter and compression again. I half-timed it. I added this preset from Portal. I added a tremolator to make the sound kind of go in and out. I added fresh air to boost some of the high mids and the highs, and then I took out a lot of the very high end with this EQ at the very end. Okay, so the next sound that I picked out again is a one shot. Again, it's just a really weird sounding one shot. It's almost like a pad or just an ambient sound, but I did kind of manipulate it to make it sound how I wanted to. So originally it sounds like this, and that's it, and it ends. But what I did is I put the crossfade all the way up, and then I kept the loop points on so that it repeats. So if I hold it down, just kind of repeats over and over, so I can, I don't know, just sounds a little bit more unique. But I laid down this really simple pattern right here just kind of as a lead. So I'll go ahead and play how that sounds by itself. For the effects on that, I just added an EQ to take out the low end and then added some reverb. So the next thing that I added to the sample was this bell, and this is the only sound I added to the sample that wasn't a one shot. It's from this contact bank called Orchestra Complete, and it's literally just a bell. I laid down this pattern right here. I just added some reverb and that's it for the bell. And last but not least, I have the bass. Again, it's a one shot. What I did is I did the same thing I did with the lead, where I turned the crossfade all the way up, get the loop points on so that I could just like hold it down and it'll keep like repeating. And I have this really complex pattern right here for the bass, where I just follow the root note. Yeah, it's literally one note, and then usually I'll add some sort of distortion like decapitator or something, but it didn't really need it, so I just left it exactly how it was. Yeah, once I had all the sounds that I wanted, I just structured it out. I have the first half with the bass going right here, and then I just copied that same pattern over right here just without the bass. So whoever's using the sample, they can use the part with the bass or without. And then as always, I have the stems included at the end. But what I did, since I knew I wanted to make a beat out of it, was I rendered it out. I brought it back in as this audio file right here, and I pitched it down 5 semitones, and I added some effects. I took out the low end, fresh air, just to boost some of the highs, virtual tape machine to make it sound more vintage, and then this plugin Soothe 2. This plugin's really good for taking out harsh frequencies, so it's kind of different than an EQ. It really just like removes specific frequencies, and it allows you to hear exactly what you're removing. So if you play it and then you press this button right here, it'll play the sound that it's taking out. You can really hear exactly what you're taking out from the sample. And so yeah, once I had that, I just chopped up the sample how I wanted to, and it was ready for the drums. So for the drums, I just have 7 sounds total. I have this snare right here. I have this hi-hat. I have this 808, this kick, this reversed open hat. Then I have this normal open hat. And then I have this snare right here. Once I had the melody basically structured how I wanted to, and then I brought it back in and pitched it to where I wanted to, all I had to do was put the drums in. So what I did is I put a soft clipper on the master, and that's literally it. And then I started with the 808. So I have the sample going with the 808. This is what the 808 pattern looks like. And then that just repeats over here. And I made sure the 808 was peaking around 3 dB. So once I had that, I just added the kick. Just a really simple kick pattern. I made sure that the kick was peaking above 0 dB. But to me, that's what makes the beat hit a lot harder. Because if you have the kick and the 808 peaking above 0 dB while having a soft clipper on the master, it just gives it that like crunch and that extra hit. But once I had the kick and the 808, I just added the snare. Then I added a really simple hi-hat pattern, just a 2-step with a triplet every once in a while. Then I added the reverse hat and the normal open hat. Then the last thing I did is I added this snare right here. And then I have this pattern at the end that just kind of sounds like a typical trap beat and really made it sound like an EST or like Nardo Wick type of vibe. So I'll go ahead and play all the drums together. Daniel.